But here's, like I said, I mean, do y'all think, if I'm not asking y'all to agree with me, but that just stood out to me in my head about Ron Marinelli, about all the suspensions were along the defensive line.
Because, Dallas. Dallas likes to go.
I mean, but I don't care. I don't care. If you're a coach and all the suspensions are on your watch, I think there's an issue with that.
Whoa. No, that's not Rob Marinelli. That's why I said Dallas. That's a Dallas
I know it's
issue.
on Dallas, but it is on his watch because they're on the defensive line, so it is on
How
his
is that
watch.
on? How is drafting a guy that failed a drug test that had issues with smoking on him?
It wasn't just him, though. Did DeMarcus Lawrence fail a drug test?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. How was that on him? Because of the decisions that they make. That's not on Rob Marinelli.
Right, but you still, they're all along the defensive line. You're that defensive line coach.
That's a Dallas problem, not a Rod problem. What is Rod supposed to do? Baby him at home?
He has something to do with it because you're coaching him. How do you not have some influence on man? Go ahead on, dog. You have some influence. You a coach, and you're over top of that, and all these guys are getting suspended under you. Yeah, you do have something.
So Rod has something to do with Greg Hardy beating up his girlfriend?
No, you don't have something to do with that. So you saying that if you're a head coach, or if you're a coach, Skywalker, and people are getting suspended and you're coaching them and everybody's getting suspended under you,
it's called context.
You're not going to say you don't have anything to do with that?
It's called context. No, let us duke this out. It's called context. You got to put context into what you're saying. You can't just say, hey, my son, who I raised right, or who I teach the right things to do, he went out there and he shot up a store. You're going to say, oh, that's the parents' fault? If I raise him right,
you raising them. So you gonna say if you got a kid that's acting up in school, who do they do? Who they go off on? They call the parent.
Raising my son
they call
right,
the parent right.
If I'm
right, you raising the son right.
Right, and if I'm raising my son right, and he go out there and he does everything fine here, then he goes out there and does something stupid. That's not my fault. It's not Rod's fault that Greg Hardy beat up his girlfriend. That there's a smoker on the team that was smoking before he got there. That David Irving's crazy.
So then what do you talk? So if you have a whole bunch of suspensions or things going under a coach, you're not gonna say, oh, that's just all the players. The coach ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm not going to put it on Rod Marinelli. Context.
I'm not going to put it all on him, but he has something to do with it because they're under you. Please. And if your kid is going to school and your kid is getting in trouble all the time, and they're saying, hey, guess what? Your kid is acting up and he's not doing good in school. You got to get what's going on at the house.
I ain't say school. I say shut up.
Let me give the analogy here, though, so I can bring it home to everybody. You have a strict father and you have the non-strict father. The strict father said, hey, the curfew is 11 o'clock. Bring your butt at home, not 11:01, not 11:02, 11 o'clock. That son that out there in the streets partying, whatever he may do, if that strict father say, hey, bring your butt home at 11 o'clock, he's there at 10:50 or he's there at 10. Now, you got some passive fathers that would say, hey, be here, Sonny, at 11 o'clock, and then you come in at 11:02 or you come in at 12 or the next day, and you say, hey, Pops, man, I got drunk, I got tired, I didn't make it. He said, okay, son, don't do it again. And then he continued to do that. Then somewhere you have to draw the line. Somewhere the discipline have to be set and the tone and the president have to be set. Now, here's the different part about it. We talking about grown man here. What I'm thinking is with the Cowboys, I think it goes beyond the coaching. It goes all the way from the fish right from the head down. Jerry Wayne Jones.
Dallas problem.
I think that one of those guys should have called one of the players in and said, hey, you got hit with this suspension because you've been smoking. And you know that's against policy. I tell you what, the next time you do it, you're off the team. I think that these players know how to circumvent, and they know for sure that they can go around the coach and go straight to the source. But I do like the new coaching philosophy because these new coaches, they step up and they say, no, Rob Davis, that's the person that's over player personnel. I think that he's more of a grinder person to say, hey, no, I told you once, we're going to ship you off. We're going to trade you. We're going to get rid of you. We're about winning Super Bowls. This is not being a political house. That's how
I totally want to agree. I think it starts at the head. It starts with Jerry, and we know this is what he likes to do, take risk. He's taking risk, and then he's throwing these risky players to these coaches, and I refuse to put it at their feet because a lot of these players come into the league with these problems, and now it's my coach's fault.
Another case in point, Daniel Ross got caught in Frisco, Texas.
Had nothing to do with Rob Marinelli.
Had nothing to do with Rob Marinelli, but he got caught with substance, you know what I'm saying, and gun under the seat type of situation.
David Irving.
I hate to bring about these people calling them out by name because we know.
I mean, it's part of the conversation.
But it's part of the conversation. It's part of the context. He got caught earlier that year and come along, Antoine Barbecue Woods get caught in the same city with the same situation. That's coaching, because we know that Jimmy Johnson, or that's culture, I meant to say.
Culture,
we know that Jimmy Johnson would have been like, you know what? Especially Daniel Ross of all people. And y'all know
yeah,
I
but
love
you
him.
say that about Jimmy Johnson. That's not all the way true, because Jimmy Johnson did that with players that were French players. He said he wasn't cutting top dogs.
Was Daniel Ross was a difference maker?
He didn't get cut.
No.
That's what I'm saying. He should have.
I feel what y'all saying about a culture problem. I've been saying it's a culture problem, but I'm saying that all the problems that had the suspensions were along the defensive line. And I'm just going to stay with that. Y'all can have y'all's opinion about it. I'm going to have mine.
I mean, that's fact. That's not even opinion. All the problems
and it's
were
a fact.
on the
they were all
line.
under Rob Marinelli on the defensive line. That's a fact as well.
True.
David Irving was suspended and kicked out of college. We signed him off the street. Greg Hardy beat up his girlfriend. We signed him off the street.
Antoine Woods, what were his issues?
I'm talking about Antoine Woods. Hold on.
Okay, but he got in trouble too, though.
He couldn't play one game.
Antoine Woods, a 25-year-old grown man that got caught with weed in his thing. I mean, are we really about to say that's?
I'm not blaming the coach. I'm saying that all these players were under him on the defensive line.
That's more of a coincidence.
So, yeah, well, you say it is, I say it won't. So that's just the way it is, I guess.
We're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, because I'm not going to agree with what y'all saying.
That's fine.
I'm just not going to.
I just hope Jerry Jones.
Hey, what I'm saying is both of y'all right. Believe it or not, both of y'all right.
I hope he listened. I hope Jerry Jones listened to Mike McCarthy.
Both of y'all right. Rob Marinelli had his issues with that, as well as the overall culture of what Jerry Jones allowed to establish. You know, I think that Rob Marinelli should have said, at least went to Jerry and said, look, man, hey, these guys keep getting suspended for these crazy things. And I know we need them, but we got to set some type of an example by somebody. At least somebody got to be the sacrificial lamb. Somebody.
I agree.
Because it was like nobody ever got in trouble. It was like they got popped and okay.
Okay.
So like, damn.
He served his suspension. He'll be right back.
Certain things you can be like, I mean, if we're being honest with each other here, certain things you can be like, okay, listen, it's Tristan Hill for instance. Tristan Hill, that's one I could actually agree with you on, in the sense of this was under Rob Marinelli because he wanted him, right? Like he's the one I was championing for Tristan Hill going to this thing, and not sleeping in an interview or sleeping in a meeting or something.
Him and Woods.
Now I don't know, did he get benched from that or what? But that's something Rob Marinelli could handle in regards to that, because that's like a football thing, right? But the off the field stuff, that's Jerry. Why are you bringing up people in? No offense to Alden Smith. I hope he's okay. But here's Jerry again, being risky. If something happens, I can't blame Jim Tom Sula.
But here's the thing: it's three folds. I'm gonna break down the three folds. What happened?
Rod won the taco too.
Yeah. But this is the three folds of the situation with the player falling asleep in the doggone meeting room. Number one, the player should be so scared that the coach will get rid of his ass if he falls asleep in the room.
I agree.
Number two, the player's willpower should be like, I'm trying to get in here to get the most information possible. He didn't have that desire, so that means he should have been gone. Number three, the people that's in the room with him, his brothers, his comrades, his padres, all of his contemporaries, they shouldn't allow himself to go to sleep, because in the brotherhood,
Antoine Woods was right with him.
Right, but you should be tight. It should be somebody else. And I can throw in number 4. This stuff should never been leaked. I'm gonna repeat, this stuff should never been leaked. There's some situation that goes on in people's houses right now that never get out into the street, because they got a confine of a belief that we are family, and what happened in the house stays in the house. That stuff should never been leaked. I would have been lining up everybody one by one. If I'm the leader of the defense, I'm gonna say who leaked the story for number 1. Number 2, what the hell you guys doing sleeping in the room anyway? Number 3, don't you see that if one person missed their assignment, that's 6 points? Damn it, we lost this dang game because we not on one page. And I can tell you this right now, you don't have those issues over there in Patriots land. That's all I have to say.
No, I agree.
Let me know if I'm lying.
No, you're not lying at all. And what I think we all can agree on is that we hope this new coach, McCarthy, and this new influx of coaching staff and Jim Tom Sula and Mike Nolan, they're not playing none of that. Because we understand that Chris Richard yells and screams, right? We understand that Rob Marinelli get the old man walk. He was a veteran. Thank you for your service. So he would yell and scream and cuss and got on people. We understand that. But when things screw up, what are you doing to them? When these guys screw up, and not just off the field, because a lot of things they don't have control over that. That is an upper management decision. Some things are above your pay grade. But things like you said about falling asleep or missing assignments, hopefully they correct those things. Hopefully they're not with those things. Hopefully there is a cultural change. And I'm hoping and praying that the cultural change doesn't just stop at the draft, because there is a philosophical culture change in regards to the type of players we bring in. Hopefully that continues on the field and in the locker room. That's all I'm saying on that one.
No doubt, boy.
The right type of guys.
right.
Well,
different
how crazy is that? They had this whole right type of guys
right type
thing.
of guys, and you had all the wrong type of guys.
That's why I never got understood that shit.
Just shut up, Jason.
Yes, please.
Stop saying that. Don't say that. Because as soon as you say the right type of guy, there's a wrong type of guy getting in trouble the next day.
Accountability.
right.
Accountability, Ori says. Accountability. Oh, man, that was fire. Honestly, that's the type of discussion you're going to get here. We don't hold back no punches. We don't hold them back. We're going to bring it out, and we're going to get it out, and we got to the bottom of it. We got to the bottom of it. I don't got my punch, John, but we got to the bottom of it.